Hi everyone, it's Nicole from Mama Elephant, and today I have a card featuring the brand new Peace on Earth stamp set, and I've created a card with lots of embossing and especially some multicolored embossing. What I did first was take the large stitched rectangle die from the Mama Elephant Pika Frames die collection, and I'm using a powder tool to rub powder all over this black cardstock so that my embossing powder sticks only to the stamped part of the card, or hopefully sticks mostly to that. I'm using multiple colors of embossing powder for this large stamped scripty greeting. So I'm carefully trying to just get this red glitter embossing powder only on the word Mary. And then I'm tapping it back into the dish because I can for this particular part of the image. Now, some of the embossing powder got on the ampersand, so I'm taking a fine tip paintbrush and just removing that embossing powder from the area where I don't want it to go. I'm using some white embossing powder now for that part of the image, and I'm going to leave it there. If I try to shake it off, it's going to probably get on the word bright, and I don't want to have to rub that much of it off. And then I'm using some metallic green embossing powder for that word, and I'm just going to tap all that excess off into the trash. It's not really that much powder, and then I missed a little area. I actually put white on the little dot for the eye, so I removed that with the paintbrush and then added the green and heat set all of those fun stamped, or that fun stamped greeting, I guess I should say. Now, from the Jolly and Merry stamp set, I'm using the May Your Holidays Be stamp above the words Merry and Bright, and then below it, it says From Our Family to Yours. Again, that is a stamp from the Jolly and Merry stamp set. So a great way to use your greeting stamp sets and kind of mix and match and get the most from them. I'm masking off that top portion from the stitching die cut line to the edge of the card, and I'm going to stamp some of these little hanging ornaments from the Peace on Earth stamp set. So I'll start with the ornament. I found that this works better if I start with the ornament. I'll add my embossing powder on that portion of the image, tap that off, and then I'll ink up the little hanger or the little string, the little dashed string, and stamp that above. I am using a little white embossing powder and then the same either metallic green or the glitter red embossing powders for each of the ornaments. And I'm just going to continue to do this across the top of the card. I don't want it to be too full, but I thought the addition of the hanging ornaments kind of completed the whole thing. The focus of this card is that big, bold greeting. These are just great accents to kind of complement the whole theme of the card. Make sure that I'm using my paintbrush again to remove any embossing powder that's not where it's supposed to be. And I'll stamp my little hanger, use some white embossing powder on that, and I am tapping all of these embossing powders back into the corresponding dishes simply because I can. I'm doing one color at a time, one stamping at a time. I did work fairly quickly so that I could stamp all of my ornaments across the top of the card and then heat set them all at once. So I have another metallic green ornament, and I will finish with two glitter red ornaments on the right corner there of my card. I like it to not be too every other or matchy-matchy. I like it to kind of look like maybe you hung them there and weren't too terribly careful with the order in which you place the ornaments. So sprinkle on that red embossing powder, stamp my two final little hanging lines, emboss those with some white powder, and then all of the embossing for the card is complete. The other really nice thing about this card, it is really a very flat card, so it's going to mail really well. I love cards that have lots of fun looking dimension, but they aren't actually all that dimensional. It makes it so easy to send them through the mail. They won't get damaged, or you don't you wouldn't have to use a padded envelope or things like that. Now I'm attaching this whole panel to the front of a white card base, and I'm going to complete the card with some awesome Christmas mix sequins from Pretty Pink Posh. A whole bunch of tongue twisters there. And I'm going to sprinkle them out on my work surface, and then I love the mini Zot glue dots for attaching these to a project, especially with black cardstock. Your adhesive, if you use a liquid adhesive, is really going to show up. So the Zot's bling glue dots work great. They work behind these small sequins. These are 4mm sequins, so they're pretty teeny tiny. And those bling Zots fit right behind them. You aren't going to see them. They aren't going to, be out on the sides or anything like that. So this just complements the colors and the theme of the card and finishes it off with a fun little bit of embellishment. I'll add the rest of these here, and then this card is finished. I hope you've enjoyed this video showcasing the brand new Peace on Earth greeting stamp set from Mama Elephant. The supplies I've used are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. Thanks for watching.